All right, joining us now, we got members of the Alamogordo Track and Field team, boys and girls team, which of course is coached by Jason Atkinson. He's coaching both teams again this year. And Coach, how you doing this morning? Good?
Yeah, I'm doing real good. Thanks for having us.
Well, if you want to let us know who you brought with us. You got 3 from the guys team and 2 from the ladies team this morning.
Sure. So here are the guys. Colton Dean, he'll be pole vaulting for us. Jason Auld, he'll be middle distance 4x4 type of athlete. We have Alton, who'll be a hurdler and 300 hurdler mainly, and then also in several of our relays. And then we have Sheyenne Drake, who will be from basically any distance event all the way down to even the 400 if we need her. And we have Claire Myers, a jumper for us, and then also a sprinter from 400 down as well in relays.
Last year was your first year running both teams. What was the experience like? You feel like you learned some things from doing both boys and girls track last year?
Yeah, when they came to me, I was a bit nervous if I wanted to take the job, because I only worked with guys from soccer all those years and into track and field. So I was a bit unsure. I didn't know if my personality would really mix with the girls team, And so I talked to my wife, and we both said, she thought it was a good idea. And if I ever, my goal is at some point to go on to the next level, you have to coach men and women. So I thought it'd be a great opportunity, actually. And then the girls surprised me. They're awesome. They were tough, just as much as the guys are. They train just as hard as the guys, and they're very competitive. So they really changed my perspective on things, to be honest with you, from a coaching standpoint. And they're awesome to have around. And it was neat to have the program under one direction, bringing all the coaches together, and it was good. We had the coaching staff got together real well, and
fun
really enjoyed it. It was a good experience last year.
All right. How's everybody doing this morning? Good? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I know it's a little early, so everybody's still kind of getting there. Colton, Coach mentioned that you're a pole vaulter this year, and you had a lot of success last year as a pole vaulter. How you feeling about your season and how you are going into this year?
Yeah, I feel really good. Just coming out of a summer camp with a lot of good college coaches. So definitely coming into the new 5A district, I feel really strong, and I hope to hopefully win state this year.
All right. Well, we certainly hope that's the case. Still, pole vaulting's been, we've had a lot of really strong pole vaulters at AHS over the last 4 or 5 years, and you're kind of part of that succession. Has it been, a lot of competitiveness, you feel like, within the pole vaulting group over the last number of years?
Oh, yeah. My coach already made a list of the top 10 pole vaulters, and my brother is among one of them. His son also there, so I definitely hope to beat all of them, and hopefully that school record also.
All right, that's what we like to hear. Jason, we of course know you from cross country as well, and you busy with track. How are you feeling about your running heading into the new season?
I feel pretty good. I'm excited for this year.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
And what do you feel like your strongest event's going to be this year? I know Coach obviously got you doing a lot of stuff, but is there one that you really feel focused on this year?
Well, last year my best event was probably the 800, and I'm going to focus more on that this year.
Is there a certain time that you're shooting for in that this year?
I'm going to go for 1 minute and 57 seconds. All
right, very good. Alex, of course, we know you do a lot of different events and all the different relays and involve a lot of different things. But hurdling is obviously your specialty. Would you say, right?
Yeah, hurling is definitely my specialty.
And what do you? You feel stronger in the 110, 300?
No, I'm just a 300 guy.
Just a 300.
Really ran the 110s.
Okay. And what time are you shooting for in the 300? Because I'm trying. Jason, Alex, where did you finish at state last year? Because you finished very well at state last year. Right?
I finished 4th in the state track meet last year. This year, moving down 5A, looking at competition this year, should win. I'm looking to run 38 this year in the 300 hurdles. All
right, very good. Sheyenne, of course, is very busy in so many different things in the fall. She, of course, does cross-country and soccer, now moving over to track. Does keeping busy with those kind of things really help you out when you head into the track season?
It definitely keeps me in shape. Doing cross-country, it kind of goes along with track, It gets you ready for the track season, Soccer also helps, too, but I don't know. I think I'm really ready for track at this point.
All right. Is there one event that you feel most comfortable at going into the season?
It's always the 800 and 16. Last year I performed better in my 1600, but I'm always trying to cut down time with my 800 too.
All right. Claire, high jump probably your favorite event that you run out there? Do you like the running, or which one is your...
No, high jump's definitely my favorite.
High jump's definitely your favorite. All right. You got a certain height that you're really shooting for this year?
5'4" or 5'6", I don't know.
One of those.
Yeah.
That's going to be the goal. Do you feel like the running though helps you out a little bit with the high jumping, just in terms of the athleticism and stuff like that? Yeah. Definitely an advantage. This seems like both the boys and girls teams should be really strong this year. You feeling like that both teams should be? I think districts. I mean, I don't want to say district is a given. You guys expect to win, I think, district championships, but at state, you guys feel like you should be, competitive there too this year, right?
Well, I believe even if we were in 6A, we would be looking to win district and to trophy at the state meet. I know a lot more about the 6A schools because for years that's what we've been up against. So, we know the strengths and weaknesses of all the teams there. 5A, don't know as much. We know about Academy and their distance program. Coach Kedge up there is phenomenal what he does. But they're a bit weak when it comes to sprints. And so that's one place where I know we can take advantage of them because I believe on the boys' side they're the main competitors. They have a thrower that may win all three, and he won all three last year. And then they have their distance athletes that will perform well also. So there's some points there already, you can imagine. And then obviously if you have a good 800 group, then you have a chance to have a good medley. And so I don't know about the rest of their team. Generally their sprints have not always been the strongest. And Farmington has had a sprint group in the past few years on the guys, but they've graduated a few. And to be honest, I just don't know much about other teams. Sometimes Artesia's all right, sometimes Los Alamos, but they've been a bit dropped the last few years. And on the girls' side, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd be
very
honest
up
with you. I mean, Academy, obviously they have a few girls on the distance side as well, but I think they're even a bit behind the Academy boys as far as sprinters, so they don't really perform too well in that part. So I really don't know exactly on the girls' side. I think Roslos had a few. They have a very good jumper, but that's just one girl. I don't think that they can put a whole team together. So I've been telling the team this is maybe a goal or a dream of mine, but neither team has won the state championship in the same year. I say both teams haven't won in the same year, and this is something that I want this program to do something that's never done before. That's the goal, and for both of us to win it, and that's what we're talking about. Yeah. And we don't take for granted district. We want to try and win by 150 points if possible. So that's the attitude we're going to take. It doesn't help anyone to go soft, and so we're going to absolutely put it down as hard as we can because we host it as well. So there's a possibility I'd like to win every single event.
Yeah.
So with the 19 events on both sides, 38 events, I'd like to win 38 of them at district.
Awesome.
So we have some goals.
Hey, that's about having the goals. I mean, Claire, when you hear Coach talk about those kind of goals, does that get you fired up and that you want to be able to succeed in that way and to have those kind of possibilities to do that this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets you excited for that. What is it about the high jump that you enjoy so much, or what is it about that event that made you choose that one over maybe some of the other track events that you enjoy?
I don't know. I'm kind of I was good at it, and so that's why I liked it in the first place. But then, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Yeah,
that's fine. That's all right. Sheyenne, middle distance has obviously, kind of become your thing. But, I'll ask you again, when Coach talks about, we talk about some of the different teams that you're on. Coach Giggler and Coach Barbosa both have high expectations for the group. I got to think that's a great thing to hear from your coach saying, hey, we want to win everything, right?
Yeah, to be honest, I love all of my coaches. I've never been more happy with the coaching staff, in track, soccer, and cross, But I definitely think being able to win everything at districts is definitely doable. It's not something that is dream or anything. It's something that we're going to do,
Yeah. Alex? I mean, to have that kind of, I mean, let's be honest, it's kind of a killer mentality. I mean, you guys want to go out there and prove that you're the best, and I mean, not necessarily intimidation or anything like that, but you know, there's no taking it easy at any point throughout the season. I got to think that obviously that's something Coach is trying to put into you guys a lot. Is that what you feel?
Oh yeah, Coach is, ever since I started running with Coach, he's had the same mentality. Just come out and kick everybody's butt. It doesn't matter who. So, and that's such a great mentality to have. It really rubs off on the teammates, on your team, your teammates, and just ends up being a great thing.
Yeah.
You start doing it instead of just hearing it.
Yeah. Jason, I mean, we talked about this plenty with cross country, that, I mean, it's in a lot of ways, you know, running, it's individual. I mean, you're focusing on what you're doing out there, but clearly there is a team mentality to everything that you guys are doing out there. Does that add extra motivation for you?
It really does, and especially if you're on a relay. You're relying on everyone else on that relay. It's not just you. In individual events, it really is all you. But when you look at it at an overall perspective, everyone's out there running, trying to get points for the entire team. So it really is both of the aspects, individual and team.
Yeah. And, you know, Colton, you know, obviously you do pole vault, but, you know, I'm sure a lot of the part that you do out there is, I mean, you especially see it when you get down to the end of the meet, that everybody's, you know, pushing on everybody else. You get to those relays towards the end of the meet, and everybody's out there, you know, trying to, you know, be positive and help it out. I mean, do you feel like that's part of the team aspect on both the boys and the girls, is to support the other people?
Oh, yeah. Most of the time I'm the first one going at it, and right when I get done, I always like to go and cheer on everyone running, especially the distance, because they got to do a couple of laps around the track. And I just like going out with the field events, seeing throwers and the jumpers, and I just like cheering everyone on.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear. Coach, you know, obviously, I mean, something else that I feel like has got to motivate everybody that's here and everybody in the team. I mean, you had two athletes from the team last year that went Division I last year. I mean, you had Kristen that went to North Texas. You had Riley. Was it three? That's right. We had one more. It was, who else went Division I last year? It was
UTEP, Sierra.
Sierra went to UTEP. Oh, I didn't even know that she went down to UTEP. Okay. So you had Sierra going down to UTEP, and then Riley going to Air Force. You know, that's something, you know, as a coach that, you know, you could, I've got to point out to these, you know, these kids that, hey, if you work hard enough, you know, you can get a track and field scholarship and go wherever you want to go and keep doing this if you want to. Is that part of the motivation a little bit too?
Well, I think it's just it shows the athletes themselves. I don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
That this opens doors that, you know, in our sport here, we have a chance to do it, to go through those doors basically, because we have a program that is established, that has quality athletes. And I believe obviously that the coaching that they get is at a level that allows them to go on and be competitive at the collegiate level. So, yeah, I think it speaks for itself. You know, we have a few kids go off here and there from other sports, but I think our percentage in track and field is something I'm very proud of, that whether it's NAIA all the way up to Division I, it's an opportunity for those athletes to compete. And, you know, as an example, I just got a text message last night that Devin Enslin was the conference runner-up in the 200 meters at the Naval Academy. And I think he graduated a couple years ago, but that's just an example of athletes that are still competing and doing well and representing our school. So, yeah, I hope the kids realize that that there are many doors open. A lot of them think, oh, it's just in the core sports. But this sport has tons of opportunities for kids to go and compete, and I think they realize that. I do.
Yeah. Colton, I mean, pole vaulting is something you want to continue after high school?
Oh, yeah. I'm looking towards going to UNM, vaulting with them. I know the coach well and all the athletes there, so I just hope I get the opportunity.
All right. Jason, I mean, running either cross-country or track and field, I mean, is that something that you would like to continue after high school?
Yeah, most definitely. I've been trying to get my times and stuff out there for the coaches. They don't really come towards us. We have to go to them. So it's definitely a challenge.
Yeah, but I mean, it takes the motivation that you got to get out there and be involved to try and get those scholarships, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I will say real quick is that in this sport, it's, as a college coach, all you have to do is look at times.
Yeah.
And distances. It doesn't lie. You know, you don't have to watch film to see, oh, I think this guy or this girl is good enough for our team. It's simple. You run a time, you throw a time, or you throw a distance.
Yeah.
It's easy. So you do the performance, you'll get the job.
All right. Alex, hurdles, that's something you want to keep on doing? Or I know obviously you played football. I mean, what's your plans for after high school?
I want to run track.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly. This is where my heart lies. It's track and field. So I've been doing the same as Jason, trying to get my name out there, get my times out there, get some recognition.
All right. Sheyenne, obviously you have a lot of different options, and you've still got a ways to go with your high school career, but, I mean, college is obviously something, at least in terms of continuing athletically. Is that something you want to keep pushing for?
Yeah, I started as a soccer player, but over the years I've kind of fallen in love with track, so I definitely want to pursue track in college over any other sport. So.
And I would think you could probably do cross country and track and field in college.
Yeah, that's normally what they do. They have a dual scholarship, even for sprinters and stuff. They have everyone out there running cross. So.
Yeah. Claire, how about you? I mean, is this something you'd like to keep pursuing after high school?
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, along with that, I mean, have you started thinking about what you want to do in college? And
not really. No.
No.
I haven't thought about it.
Okay, that's fine. There's still some time to get that squared away. Coach, I do want to make sure we mention, I mean, we got these 5 here, but some of the other key members of the various teams. We'll start with the boys' side, and I mean, just I know, obviously, a number of guys graduating, but Riley graduates last year, but then you got Santi that's there throwing for you this year. I'm sure he's going to be a big part of it. Who are some other guys that we should be watching out for this year with I know there's probably a ton, and I'm kind of putting you on the spot here. So.
Yeah, well, obviously I'm going to miss a few.
Yeah.
Probably someone will be upset. But, one kid that has really stepped up to our fall training is Markel Poor. Actually, he hasn't been a name that people maybe are familiar with, but he's stepped up a lot, and I really expect him to push on for the rest of the year. Obviously, we have a lot of the basketball kids coming out, hopefully. Well, for varsity, hopefully not too soon. Let's hope they can win it, but we will have some of them from Shamar. Norman is one of them. Allen. Trent Tapley. He's going to be a big part of what we do this year as well. And, we have Kobe Willis and Chris Moore in the hurdles. That will help us a lot. So that's some of the guys on the boys' side. Trey Purcella will hopefully develop in the throws as well, because we have to keep developing the younger athletes. And so those are some of the guys on the but I'm sure I've missed a couple, And then on the ladies' side, I think Tabitha Miller, she's a thrower, and McKenna Lemire, they're 2 throwers. They have to step up. That's a big gap that has been left by those throwers, and how they performed at that state meet was incredible last year. So those are a couple of throwers that are going to step up. In the distance part, we have Ansley Battle, and she's been running cross-country. Hopefully we can get Kyla Fugate. She had an injury after the cross-country season and broken toe, so she's dealing with that right now. And Jayla Richardson, she's a freshman. We brought her up last year, and she's kind of going to fill, I believe, Ali Torres' position. She had to leave. Her dad was military and got stationed back east, so that spot is somewhere we have to kind of fill in, and she is definitely, I believe, a person that can step up for that. And we need Kyra to step up again this year, like she did last year. And so those are just some of the sprinters. And Madison Varner, as she ran cross country, and I'm moving up to more to the 800 this year, and as well on the 4x4. So those are some of the girls. And again, I apologize if I missed anyone else, but
obviously, I mean, track and field is probably the biggest roster, between boys and girls that any of the teams deal with. So, I mean, there's a lot of kids that come out, and that's, I think, something that's worth pointing out is there are so many different people and so many different kids that are active and involved with this program out there between varsity and JV as well.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we try to have as big of a team as possible, and because in this sport, you never know when you'll find a gem, basically. So that's why we want as many people as possible. So we're hoping once we get all the basketball kids out to have 50-plus kids on each side. So it's a lot to manage. To have 100 at some point in the season, we'll have over 100, probably around 110 kids out for track and field. And I think it's the biggest. I know it's a combined boys and girls team, but it's probably for sure it's the biggest team, and at the school there. And I do have to say, I forgot Ayana. She is the favorite in 100 and 200 this year in the 5A. Yeah. So I just want to
She's an incredible athlete, absolutely.
Yeah, make sure she.
Obviously, the season starts this Friday. Saturday in Las Cruces at Oñate. And what's interesting about track and field, obviously, is that you're trying to, it's kind of the long haul. You want to get to your state qualifying marks, but you're also trying to get to your top level by the end of the season. I mean, Claire, how do you pace yourself throughout a year? I mean, is it every event you're going full, or you're trying to kind of incrementally make yourself better throughout the season?
Well, this year I'm going to try and focus on high jump, and I really want to do the 400. So I guess getting fast in the 400 though will make me better in the 200 as well. So
working on all that and relays and all that good stuff. Yeah. Cheyenne, I mean, how do you kind of work yourself? I mean, it's the same thing, obviously, with cross country. I mean, is it trying to pace yourself a little bit, or get the events you can get qualified in early on, and maybe work on some other things throughout the season?
Well, the way Coach sets up our season, like he makes it to where we can progress throughout the season and to where we will peak like right at state. Like I was amazed how last year I was running about consistent times throughout the season, and right at state I was like boom, and so like I don't know, I'm really excited to run my 8 this year. I really want to cut down time. I ran about a 2:20 every single time last year, so I'm hoping that I can cut off a lot of time off of that and hopefully try to break the school record in the 800 too. But for my mile, I'm definitely trying to break 5 minutes this year. It's kind of like a big thing I got going on here, but if I could break the school record last year, I think I could definitely break 5 minutes this year, so I'm excited.
All right. Alex, I mean, how do you kind of pace yourself throughout the year? I mean, you're trying to get that state qualifying mark out of the way early and then just slowly incrementally improve yourself towards the end of the season?
Like Cheyenne said, the way Coach sets up training, he has our training set up so that we peak towards the end of the year district and the state track meet. So during the season and all of our meets, I just come out and like my main events, I can qualify in fairly early and kind of get those out of the way. Not really get them out of the way, but I'll still progress in them. But then we can put more focus on qualifying like relays that we're pushing towards the end of the season that we need to get qualified. So.
All right. Jason, I mean, how about you? How do you try to, is it just slowly improving your times? I mean, how do you kind of view your training throughout the season to get ready for the meets?
Well, that's pretty much all you can do is just slowly improve your times, and every now and then you might have a big jump in between your times. But it's really, you just got to work hard throughout the year and keep pushing yourself. It's a tough sport, so.
All right. Colton, obviously, pole vaulting seems a little bit different. I mean, you guys, in terms of, slowly incrementally raising it up, it feels like you guys are trying to push for that top height pretty early on. I mean, is it a little bit different than you feel like maybe the runners go about things?
Yeah, I would like to think so. We want to qualify as soon as possible, get that out of the way, so the stress of doing it out of the way, so we start working on the bigger heights, work on form throughout the year, and hopefully around state and districts we peak physically, thanks to Coach, and we just try to go as high as possible all throughout the year.
Coach, I mean, obviously all of them are talking about the fact that you're really the key is to make sure you got these young men and women are at their best before state rolls around. That's clearly a big thing that you try to push on them throughout the season.
We're judged on that.
Yeah.
We're judged on district, and then a week later judged at state. So you could be trying totally different things throughout the season, and if we have a plan. And it may not come off real great throughout the season. Your team may not be winning big meets, but it all depends on those two. How you're judged depends on those 2 weekends. So for us, and I've asked all my assistants when we have our coaches meeting beginning of the year that you have to prepare for them for those 2 weeks in May. That's what it's about. Obviously, being a bit competitive, we do want to win everything because. For teams to beat Alamogordo in track and field it's a big thing. It means, oh wow, we've really done something. So we're always up against it. We always get everyone's best shot, and so we are constantly in that competitive environment. But as much as I want to win the meet this weekend, I also really want to win district and state. That's what it's about. So, I mean. That's all the training is geared towards that. All the timing is geared towards that, and that's between for coaching. That's the secret to it all. You have to put the workouts in the right time, because a lot of coaches do similar workouts, but you got to put it at the right time in the season to get the response you need on those 2 weekends. So that's what it's about for all of us.
Absolutely. All right, so again, Oñate is this Saturday, this weekend for the boys and girls. 3 home meets this year. The Raleigh-Buck is on the 18th of March. The Bob Sepulveda is the 21st of April. And then, as you mentioned a little bit earlier, District 3 5A championships will be May 5th and hosted by Alamogordo. You guys got to be excited about getting district at home this year, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes. That's always a good thing. And it's got to be a big advantage, Coach, to have district here at our place, right?
Yeah, it always is. It's a lot of work to put on 3 meets for a year for us, but for the kids, yeah, it's great. You know, you get to compete in front of your family and friends again, and to win a district championship on your track is always it's always special. Well, luckily, when we were in the Hobbs-Carlsbad district, we hosted district here as well. One of the 2 years we were in that district, you know, so there is definitely an advantage. Not as much of a travel advantage because the teams are, you know, all except for Deming 2 hours away, but we had to go to Hobbs last year. That's a little trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we still won it. So
there you go. All right. Well, we wish the best of luck. Of course, track and field. You know, I've always said it. Boys and girls track and field has the best legacy at Alamogordo High School. You look at all the district championships on the boys and the girls side. So I know it's a lot of I don't know if it's necessarily pressure, but there's definitely the pride of making sure you guys keep that going every single year. So good luck to all you this season. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank y'all, Coach. Appreciate it, and good luck this season.
yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.